This is going to be really tough for you to hear, but I need you to hear it. You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah. What's up? I'm John Stark from MacroMovieGuy.com. Just in case you want to know whose bat mitzvah you are not invited to. And I'm actually just not really doing a bat mitzvah. It's for girls, and in case you didn't know that. I mean, like, maybe people have absolutely no idea what to do with Jewish culture, but when it's B-A-T, it's for girls. When it's B-A-R, it's for boys. There you go. Welcome to I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So subscribe, because obviously this is going to be the best review ever. And it's an Adam Sandler movie. I wish it wasn't. I wish he just kind of gave little to no feedback on this film, because it's actually, there's a glimmer of hope here. But then I look at some of these things and I'm like, this has Happy Madison, isn't it? This has to be Happy Madison because it has those jokes in it. But it does have audio description on Netflix. Yay! So there's something. Yeah, so this is Netflix's new, I would say slightly elevated release, where they actually put some effort into it. Not enough to, like, get it into the Oscar consideration. But, like Heart of Stone. They spend a little bit more money on it than they do any one of those movies where they send some random chick to Europe. Or Leighton Meester's River Wild, I guess. I'm not watching that. And I don't know how we went from Meryl Streep to Leighton Meester, but it's not a fair comparison. Yeah, so this has a lot of Sandlers in it. A lot of people that you would recognize from having done previous Adam Sandler films, but not the typical little grouping of his buddies. He's missing, like, the David Spades and the Rob Schneiders and those kind of people. Those people are gone. They're not here. The closest you really get is, like, Luis Guzman. I'm talking about legitimately, like, the women who operate in Adam Sandler's life appear in this film. Specifically, this is, I guess, to help launch his daughter's acting career. Sunny Sandler stars in this. Essentially, there are these two girls and they're best friends. They're both planning their bat mitzvahs until they have a falling out. And it's kind of about that dynamic and how do you repair it? Do they want to repair it? Are they going to repair it in time for the end of the film? And I don't know, I guess we don't have enough teen movies nowadays, and I'm wondering, it's like, does this qualify? Is this a teen movie? Who did we make this for? It's so hard to tell, because I don't know. It feels like it was a teen movie that was written by adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel like Sunny Sandler has her own voice here. I kind of wish she did. I kind of wish this felt a little bit less like a Nepo Baby movie and more like she actually has something special to say on her own. I think that's the thing that people have to realize about their second generations when they're coming up, is that you really have to let them find their own way in terms of who they are as an actress. You can't force them through your little narrow eye hole. Obviously, Sunny Sandler is not Adam Sandler. She's not going to one day grow up to be on Saturday Night Live and come up with some cool new Hanukkah song for all of us to sing. She's not going to do all the crazy voices. She's not going to be known for having those big screaming moments, like Adam Sandler always does when he yells about, wearing my t-shirt yesterday, like that stuff. This is not that girl's vibe. She needs to find her own voice, but this is her dad is in this. And he's great. Adam Sandler's actually, he's trying to be mature and he's trying to not, he's trying to take a step back. What he's trying to do is he's trying to loom over this film so that people will go see it as an Adam Sandler movie, but it's not his movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's playing her father. What a stretch. But at the same time, it's not really written in a way that really makes me feel confident that this girl has a bright future ahead of her. You know, we have some children of celebrities out there who have gone out into the world and really made a name for themselves. And sometimes you don't even necessarily know that they are like a second generation. Somebody like a Goldie Hawn, you wouldn't even know. You would think she just sort of appeared and was discovered. And you wouldn't know that she, you know, and all the way down to Dakota Johnson, who definitely did not follow. There was no forced entry of her. She wasn't just starring in her mom's films. You know, you could say the same thing about Kate Hudson. You know, these people did not immediately follow their parents through their lives all the way through. So I just think that I don't know what this does for her. I mean, it introduces her, but it doesn't really introduce her as a voice in comedy. So I don't really know where she's going to go with this. Yeah, it's actually a decent film. And she's fine in it, but every once in a while they have to go for a joke that feels like, God damn, it's a Happy Madison joke. You know, there's this extended thing about queefing, and I'm like, I feel like no other teen movie would make that joke. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like in this vibe, you know, for this age of kids that they're supposed to be, that are making their way into adulthood, that they wouldn't be making that joke, you know, because these are younger kids. And like, I know we've made that joke. I know that South Park makes that joke, and those are supposed to be like elementary school kids every time they, but that's South Park. You know, it just doesn't feel like it's the right joke for this cast. It feels like it's the right joke that Adam Sandler goes into the screenwriter's territory and says, hey, you know, it'd be really funny. Let's talk about queefing. Kids talk about that stuff all the time. Do they? It kind of even feels out of place, because I wouldn't even call this sort of like one of those raunchy comedies. So it feels like when they start going there, that it kind of pulls away. The heart of this comedy is based on the relationship between the two girls. So it's so weird. It's like when it tries to start going into this sort of shock and awe humor, it feels very forced, because these girls are not comedians. They're just being thrown this material. And more importantly, at least for Sunny, she's here because of her dad. I didn't memorize the other girl's name, because honestly, there is like a lead. By the time they spend less time together, you can kind of tell who's getting followed as being the lead of the film and who's getting the, okay, so you're not the lead of the film treatments. You know, one person gets followed slightly more than the other, I would say. He's pretty obviously in this film. So, some of it just didn't work, but there's a heart in here that speaks and wants to come out. And God, there must have been a great script at some point. The director of this directed Crush last year, which was really pretty decent and kind of had something to say. And I feel like this film is trying to have something to say, but Adam Sandler just keeps kicking it in the face. And it's like, no, it has to feel like the rest of my movies. Dude, your daughter can't be you. Like, stop trying to make her you and support her. by taking a step back and letting her be her, letting somebody come in and help her find her voice and find out where she is. You know, Sunny Sandler might be a great dramatic actress someday. She may be totally different than her dad. But if he's going to keep trying to force his style of humor onto her, I don't know that does her any good. You know, even if you look at people like I'll take the other Saturday Night Live alumni, father-daughter duo of Chris Elliott and Abby Elliott. If you look at the two of them and you look at their styles of humor, they're very different. Abby Elliott has obviously established a completely different style of humor. Is she funny like her dad? Sure, definitely. Is she anything like her dad? No, she's not. It's a completely different style of humor than what Chris Elliott does, what Chris Elliott is known for. They're in two totally different realms. If Abby Elliott walked around trying to be her dad the whole time, then, you know, I don't think she would have gotten anywhere. So, I don't know. That's the only thing I'm disappointed about in this film is the fact that it feels too much like an Adam Sandler piece. I wish this was directed by like Olivia Wilde. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish this came in and felt more like a Booksmart and less like just some sort of extension of this Netflix Sandlerverse that we've been getting of films that are all right. You know, some of them are all right. Some of them are terrible. I never need to see Hubie Halloween ever again in my entire life. But this one is one of the ones that's all right. But it could have been great. It could have been so much better. There's a lot of setup here. There's a lot of really amazing cultural references. Sarah Sherman plays this really dope rabbi that doesn't grate on you. She's actually just the right amount of funny. Sarah Sherman has a complete grasp and hold on her character and has figured out a way to navigate, to thread that needle just perfectly so that her character works without turning into one of those characters that often appear in Adam Sandler movies where it's like, oh God, it's Rob Schneider and he's playing some random race that he's not, and now he's going to do some weird offensive sidekick character jokes. No, it doesn't feel like that from Sarah. It feels like she's figured out a way to make her character work as a female rabbi. And Idina Menzel is really great as Sandler's wife in this and as Sonny's mom. So they didn't go the full route. Even though Adam's wife has acted before, they didn't go the full route and have her in this film. So as his wife anyway, I should say. So that's it. I mean, the two girls are fine. The rest of the kid cast is, I mean, they're fine. I'm not really going to remember anybody from this film. There wasn't anybody that stood out. There wasn't like a kid that was like, oh my God, that kid's going to be cast all over the place. But I should feel that about Sunny Sandler. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I should feel like Sunny's going to be everywhere. But I feel like Sunny's just going to be in the next Adam Sandler project. I don't think he differentiated enough for her to be able to fly on her own. I don't know that this does her any favors. So, well-intentioned, maybe, but still feels like it's her dad's. So, and he is actually pretty good in this. There's one scene, I have to say, and this actually probably gets an entire, like, bump in grade, because it was such a fucking hilarious scene. I will say this one. There's something that happens when somebody comes over and father and daughter are fighting, and it's so hilarious the way that they shot that. It's just so funny. Like, a guest comes over to the house, but then you can hear the two of them fighting, And that was so well shot and edited and executed. I thought that scene was hilarious. So that was the kind of thing that I needed in this film. And it didn't really truly feel like Sandler. It felt like something that would have naturally happened had somebody else played her father, had this not been Happy Madison, had this been written and directed by somebody else. I feel like somebody else would have found that same joke and made it work, make it happen. But as it stands, I think there's just a little bit too much looming presence here, an expectation that Sunny carry on her father's torch, which is they're the wrong shoes to fill. If you're a pro football player and your kid's great at hockey, let them be great at hockey. Don't try to make your hockey player a football player. Go let them discover what they're good at. But I feel like Adam's just like, yeah, you're gonna play football too. We're gonna do this together. All right. I mean, I guess she's never gonna go as far as you. But it's a mostly charming effort that just could have been a little bit better. Audio description here it's fine. It's mostly used for those couple of I don't know, kind of like gross out moments / just sort of describing big events. I mean, there are the bat mitzvahs coming up, and they're trying to prepare them, and they have all these different things, and they're trying to pick out certain clothes. So the clothes are important because it's about what they're going to wear to these events, and but also there's something that's very sort of normal about their lives, where they are just kind of in regular houses, going to schools, just going about their daily lives as kids. So it doesn't feel like it's terribly hard to describe, and it feels like it just does a decent job of it. There isn't really anything in here where I was like, oh my God, thank God I had that audio description, because I never would have understood that otherwise. But it's great for tracking characters, because this film has actually an obscene amount of characters for no apparent reason whatsoever. Just it feels like I had to know their entire class, like individually. At some point, everybody in their grade has some sort of presence, and you're trying to figure like, who is this? What are they talking about? Who likes who? I felt like one of the parents of the teenagers trying to keep up and be like, who do you like? Who's dating what? So luckily with the audio description, it helps you try to follow them all by name, because the kids there's a massive youth ensemble here. But yeah, there isn't like a huge set piece or anything. There's not like a dragon that comes in out of nowhere and suddenly just destroys everything. There are a couple of specific things where it's a sight gag, and that's where this truly shines. I don't want to give away any of the sight gags, so I'm just gonna say there are sight gags here. So yeah, I think the audio description is fine. I also think it's relatively easy, and to be fair, there is a significant amount of dialogue, so it has to interject where it can, because Sandler films are based on comedy in dialogue. Often, he's not a physical comedian. So, yeah, it's also based on that too. So, there you go. That's it. You are so not invited to my bat mitzvah in a nutshell. Overall, I was kind of hoping for something different when I saw this announced from Netflix. I was kind of hoping that this would be something of a little bit of a different tone for her, that he wasn't going to try to be like, oh, it's a Happy Madison thing. In the end, it just kind of felt like Happy Madison light, because the person starring in it really should not be in a Happy Madison film and should be allowed to do her own thing. I would love to see Sunny Sandler in something where there is absolutely no producing credit or anything given to any of her family. Just fly free. Go do something else. Go attach yourself to another better director and see what they can give you, because I have a feeling there might be a talent in there, but I just don't think it looks anything like Adam. So she is decent in everything that she does when Adam is not trying to force her to be like him. So anyway, time for the grade. Despite everything that I said, I'm hard on it I'm hard on it because I guess I'm an Adam Sandler fan, so I'm more hard on his films because I kind of know where they rank in the hierarchy, and maybe that's why. But actually, this is one of the more okay ones, so I'm gonna give You're Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah a B-. I liked it. It kind of has a really neat ending to it that I didn't fully see coming. I mean, I kind of saw parts of it coming, but not like all of it. So I thought that was nice. Anyway, there you go. Watch it, don't watch it. It's a Netflix film, I understand. You're not enthused. I kind of wish it wasn't a Netflix film. Like I said, I really think, I don't know, like Olivia Wilde could have done a really good job with this, or whoever directed Blockers. Let them direct this. Bring them in and give Sunny a new voice. I don't know, somebody. That Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, was so fantastic that I wanted more of that for this than I got. So I do have a website you can go to, macthemovieguy.com, after you click the subscribe button here. And you can also subscribe to me on YouTube. This is YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the Audio Description Project, adv.acv.org, and it'll let you know what is audio description, where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who is narrating your favorite films and television shows. That's it for me. And I will review something else and see you guys on the other side. Hopefully I'll be more enthusiastic about the next film. I really wanted to come in here and be like, oh my god, guys, this film is amazing. You know, but I'm like, oh my god, guys, this film is alright. Anyway, see you guys on the other side.